Hello everyone and welcome to another video review. In today's video I'm lucky enough to be taking a look at the very gorgeous looking Printformers Scorponok based on his Marvel UK comic appearance. I absolutely adore the look of this figure. Printformers always manages to impress, especially with his attention to detail. Now I know Bobby done one of these a while back. I think this is slightly more refined, but it is absolutely outstanding. Now this is completely designed by him. This particular copy is printed by him as well, and it's just an outstanding looking piece, especially for display. It looks exceptional. Now, as you can see by these images here, he's also working on a Marvel UK comic style Fort Max as well to square off alongside Scorponok. Now in the comics, Scorponok wasn't a city bot. He was kind of a standard size bot. He often tussled with the likes of Prime with his big kind of rectangular head and that sort of size figure. And this guy is no exception. To give you an idea of his scale, here I have him alongside TE Prime, who's MP10 height, and Masterpiece Bumblebee, just because I had those guys to hand. But he's definitely an MP size figure. I believe Printformers he's actually selling the files, or has made them available for download. I'll include a link below where he's got this guy done in the Legend scale as well. As this size, I believe it probably could be blown up even bigger, but obviously the bigger you go with these, the more it costs on your printing materials. Now getting up nice, close and personal, the sculpt on this figure is exceptionally well done. You can see the kind of lines from the print the closer you get, but the colours that this is done in are absolutely sublime, very pastel. Love the Decepticon insignia on the front there as well. We don't have any chest section that can come down. It's I believe he has done a conversion for this as well, which can convert him into a headmaster if you choose to take that route. But honestly, very happy indeed. I've had a few of Marchin's upgrade kits in the past, and they do make the world of difference to the figures, but this is the first kind of big standalone figure that I've had that he's done. Absolutely blown away. I just wish I had the talent to kind of do something like this. With this particular version, articulation wise, we do have rotation and up and down motion on the head. The sculpt on that head is fantastic. We have some rotation on the shoulders. Now this particular shoulder here is broken, and that's not Marchin's fault. That's the Royal Mail. They used my parcel as a football, and although it was incredibly well packaged, it still managed to get damaged. It was kicked and shoved and broken. We do have some rotation up and down on these arms. We can go forwards and backwards as well. The shoulder pads can move independently. There's an upper bicep rotation which rotates at the top of that bicep joint. We have some rotation on these wrists, and we have the ability to move the pincers in and out. There is a waist rotation in there, although you do have to kind of disengage the scorpion tail to allow for full rotation there. We have hip skirts to the front which operate independently. That's something that I really dislike about some third-party companies. They have it all on one rod and they work on their own, and I don't like that. We have forwards motion, backwards motion, out to the side, upper thigh rotation in there. We do get not one but two bends on that knee. Not a bad looking kneecap either. Move that back into position like so, and coming down to the feet. I would have liked maybe more of a heel spur on this. I suppose he just wants to keep it as close to the original comic as possible, but the feet do move up and down. We can go left and right, and we've got some nice tilt on there as well. We have some rotation on these cannons as well. The actual cannons themselves are hinged. Now he did send some alternative pieces where we have this stern angry face done in the grey, and then we get the kind of angry shouty mouth done in both the cream that we have for standard, and again done in that same grey as what we get with the helmet, which again is very in keeping with the comics, because at some points he'd have a white face and at others he would have a grey. And here he is with the angry grey face on as well. Really manages to capture that emotion in his face. He looks crazy. And there he is again with that matte grey, but the kind of more neutral expression. Again, I like how it looks, but I definitely prefer the kind of the cream. Now, it was amazing as Martin made this look in his robot mode. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would be more than happy for this to kind of just be a staction figure, just something that I can display like this. He actually went ahead and made it fully transformable. So let's start off with Scorponok kind of standing upright. Let's straighten up his arms like so. See what I mean about the joint here which got snapped. I believe I'm getting a replacement sent out, but I just wanted to make you aware that that had happened. I really was livid when the parcel turned up, and it was extremely well packed. It was a box within a box, and the outer box itself had almost like a footprint in it. It'd just been booted. But yes, this whole section at the top here, this slides up. We can move these arms to the outward position, and this one's just going to fall off, isn't it? This is going to come down, and these legs, I believe the prime location for his bot mode is to have them right up at the top. So we're going to slide these all the way down. Make sure that these outer legs are flat, because we want to bring this top piece up, and we're going to lift these arms up at this angle, which allows this to rotate around fully. Move the arms back up, move the arm back up, slide this back down. I'm just going to tweak that slightly so it stays on. And then with these guns now being on the top, we can slide these leg sections back up. And you want to have it about halfway so it's level with this section here. We can then spread these scorpion legs. These are going to flip upwards. This is going to slide, tabbing in like so, and then this whole section here will push, slide, and locate into the lower leg. And then close that off, spread the legs slightly using this lower hinge here. These are going to bend like so. The tail can then drop down. You want to rotate this waist all the way around, and then make sure the tail is out, and we're going to bring these in either side like so. This here latches in the other side of this section here, holding that into position. Make sure that these legs are then flat. We're going to push these down using this secondary hinge here, and then the tail can come up and become more of that kind of scorpion sting. And then we can adjust these cannons. They can be brought outwards, and then of course we can just rotate the Decepticon insignia like that. I love the fact that we've got this counterbalance section on these legs. We can kind of maneuver that as we see fit. There we go. There he is in his scorpion mode, and doesn't that look exceptional? Looks very much like a great compromise between the toon and the comics. Absolutely adoring how that looks. Love the fact that we could maneuver the insignia as well. Just a shame about that shoulder, but nothing that can be done about that. I believe he is sending out a replacement part actually, which he really didn't need to do, because I was more than happy to have this guy just displayed up as he was, and just in his bot mode. I love the fact we've got these little fingers as well. Maybe we'll get a G1 style gun as well. Who knows, maybe that's something that he's got in the works, but his Fortmax is going to look absolutely outstanding. I never got the Toy World version. Remember when Toy World did that kind of scaled down version of Fortmax? I really kind of wanted that as a Grant or something like that it was called. So this is definitely going to be in scale with him, and when Printformers releases their Fortmax, hopefully I'll be able to get a hold of one of those as well. But honestly, this is a gorgeous looking figure. For those of you who want a scale comparison, here he is alongside MP10. Again, this, in my opinion, is definitely designed with Marvel Comics in mind. It's more of a masterpiece scale. You could get this printed off in the Legends scale as well. It's entirely up to yourselves, whatever you want to do. But that being said, you could always use this scale with the likes of the Diaclone Revival as well. You can pretend that they're like little Transformers and little robots in disguise, little Cybertronians. And then Scorponok could even be in scale there to be a headmaster base as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll include as much information about this product as I physically can, including links to his future projects and of course a playlist to other stuff that Printformers has produced that we've reviewed on this channel previously. Thanks again to Martin from Printformers for making this review possible. Honestly, am a huge fan of your work. You do an outstanding job. You don't get enough credit where credit is due. I just really wish somebody would take you on and you could start mass producing these on a third-party level. Until next time, from myself and the Printformers Scorponok, goodbye.